We have with us Jaidev Kala, Chairman of the Amara Raja Group. Thank you very much for talking to Money Control. So you have huge ambitions for the EV sector. You announced a plant, a lithium-ion cell and a battery pack plant some time ago in Mehboob Nagar district in Telangana with a huge investment outlay, I think, of 9,500 crores. So where are you on that? Because I think it's supposed to kick off this year, sometime around April, May 2025. Take us through how that's going to come up, how much capacity you will be building in the next few years.
So we've acquired the land in Telangana during the previous administration, and we're working very closely with the current administration also. They're being very supportive. We're in the race to be among the first cell manufacturers for lithium-ion cells in India. Nobody's making them at the moment. Everyone's importing, making them into packs, battery packs, adding the electronics and supplying those to OEMs. We're also doing the same thing at the moment. So we've already completed the pack facility in Mehboob Nagar district on site. That building has been completed and commissioned also. So we are assembling packs for several Indian customers and MNC customers as well in India, for not outside India. That pack assembly unit is running in a full-fledged manner. Not at full capacity yet, but we're hoping that it'll get there soon enough. As far as the cell manufacturing is concerned, right now we're our customer qualification plant, which is basically the commercial pilot plant, commercial scale pilot. So it's not just a small pilot, but it's a commercial scale pilot to prove out the manufacturing process before scaling it to giga level. So about a 500 megawatt plant for customer qualification is being built and it'll be ready in about a year and a half. It should be getting commissioned. Once that manufacturing process is proven out, then we'll be going for the gigafactory scale. To start with, we'll be going for about 16 gigawatt hours. And that 16 gigawatt hours, when we complete that investment cycle, it'll come to about 9,500 crores as the total investment up to that point. Right. So this is over a period of anywhere from 5 to 10 years, depending on how the market evolves. It's not an existing market. It's a market that we're expecting, the demand that we're expecting. So if EV takes off like everybody's expecting it to, then the demand will be there and we'll be able to scale up much faster. But if the demand slows down or doesn't happen at all, then that'll affect our scale-up plans as well.
Right, but
based on one more thing is we're building a world-class R&D center at the Aero City in Shamshabad, right next to the airport. We've taken 8 acres and we're building an R&D center so that over a period of time we want to be technically independent from the rest of the world. India has to not only produce in India, but has to design, research, everything has to happen in India so that we're not all these geopolitical risks that we have to face now and then, it won't affect our business going forward.
Right. But, in terms of lithium-ion, how independent are we or self-reliant are we in terms of even sourcing the critical minerals required for lithium-ion cells?
China has a monopoly. No country is independent of China in this space. Lithium-ion battery technology, whether it's the cell technology, whether it's a manufacturing equipment, whether it's the access to supply chain and the critical materials, China has tied up everything. And based on the way that they've been speaking lately, they don't seem to want to share much of that with anybody also. So those are some headwinds we're facing from China's side. And Indian government also, for very valid reasons, because of geopolitical issues, has also been pushing back on working with the Chinese. So this is a big challenge for everyone. We can't live with them, we can't live without them, right? So we're trying to figure out how to navigate all of this, but we're confident we'll be able to get through. It's a question of time. If we work with China, it'll happen faster. If we don't work with China, it may take a little bit longer, but we won't be dependent on them for long then. So it's a double-edged sword that China has to play. Do they want to restrict their technology, restrict access to materials, restrict everything to the rest of the world, and force the rest of the world to become independent faster? Or do they want to slowly give things to us so that they keep the dependency on them will continue for a longer period of time? This we have to see how it plays out.
Right. And with Trump in the White House again, do you think India has, a chance here to get closer to the US, maybe China +1 taking off?
Yeah, that's a $1 trillion question, I would say. And I think the China Plus One activity had been going on even before this election. So this election is not the reason for that to happen. But this definitely is going to accelerate the pace. And so far, India has done fairly well to get some of that business that's being diverted. But we're not getting the lion's share of it, and I think that's what we need to focus on. We need to see how to align our central government policies and our state government policies to attract more of that de-risking of supply chains that the rest of the world is trying to go through right now.
Right. What other plans do you have, sir? EV seems to be a big focus for you, but otherwise in terms of capex plans, investment plans, growth plans over the next year?
So as far as our flagship company, Amara Raja Energy and Mobility is concerned, the biggest investment is coming in the lithium project, which we spoke about. But we will be expanding our lead-acid battery auto capacity as well.
Right.
We're probably going to be looking at setting up something in North India. Till now, all of our lead-acid plants have been only in Andhra. And the lithium-ion plant is the first plant that we've taken not only out of Andhra, but out of Chittoor district. Because Chittoor district is my native place. So my father, who's the founder of the group, insisted that everything should be only in his home district and nowhere else to create maximum social impact, which has worked very well for a time. But I think now other risks have to be calculated, location risk, political risk, so many different things are there that we have to face. And having all eggs in one basket doesn't seem to be the right approach. So we are looking at expanding capacities in North India and possibly outside of India in the near future as well.
Right. You also announced a tie-up with Ather some months ago. Are you bullish about the e-two-wheeler space in India? Because, you said it's a function of demand taking off.
Yeah.
We are seeing that in the e-two-wheeler space, the three-wheeler EV space also we are seeing traction. So are those the segments that you're betting on going forward?
Yes, I think we feel that light mobility is going to be the segments that take off the fastest in India, because that's where the cost parity has already kind of taken place, even without incentives. So market dynamics itself now is in favor or is at par for an IC engine or an EV vehicle, for two-wheelers and three-wheelers especially. The total cost of ownership is almost equal now. So market dynamics itself should create the demand. Whereas for larger vehicles, four-wheelers, especially mid-size and larger four-wheelers, commercial vehicles and such, the economics still don't work out without incentives. So government will have to support those sectors for a while until our scale picks up.
Right.
We need to have a certain scale to compete globally and to bring costs down. It's not going to happen from day one. So for that to happen, government needs to support industry also.
Right. Government needs to support industry. Anything that they can do to support the industry in the upcoming budget?
So I think it's everything's about timing. It's not about what to do, but when to do it. Right, as of now, there's no cells being manufactured in India. So creating any kind of hurdle to import cells would be hurting the development of this industry. But once the capacities are set up, then the capacity, until we're able to reach global scales, we need to be able to have some kind of protection from Chinese imports and from other countries until we're able to compete with them on a cost basis.
Great. On that note, thank you very much, sir, for talking. Sorry, I have one more question.
Yes.
There's a lot of buzz about your re-entry into politics. Do you have any comments on that?
I think when I retired, not retired, I said it's a temporary break. How long that break is going to be, I'm still not able to tell you. But I think we'll see. That's all I can say for now.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.